So I may be getting a little bit of a late start to this, but this is definitely a reading event that I'm not going to miss. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here, and thank you so much for wanting to talk about books with me today. And in this video, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet, but I became aware of a reading event, a reading challenge that's going on through the whole year of 2024, and I just kind of missed out a little bit at the beginning when I wasn't doing much on BookTube and whatnot, but it is Climathon 2024. For those who don't know, this was created by Tasman at Wild Book Gardens and Anya at Well Traveled Books. Anya's channel in particular, I've been watching for quite a while, and she's got a lot of cool environmental stuff going on her channel. Highly recommend both of them. I'll leave the links down below. And this is a reading event that has been going on for a couple of years now, I believe. It used to be a month-long one. I remember in 2022, I think it was November, if I remember correctly, and I did participate in that one. And they've kind of switched it up and done that kind of the bingo board thing, which I'll put up here in just a moment, and just the idea is to kind of read a little bit about nature or the environment or conservation or the climate crisis or anything like that. Just read a little bit each month throughout the year, which I do kind of like that, just kind of keeping it, you know, in our minds and stuff. And for those who don't know, if you're new to the channel or something, like half my reading is the like nature, animal, plant, conservation kind of books and stuff. So yeah, this was totally up my alley, and even though, like I said, I didn't join in January, I'm gonna make up for lost ground, I think, and coming right up. But yeah, let's just go ahead and go through a couple of, or I guess the prompts and whatnot. I'll put that up right there. And there's a couple other bonus objectives and things too, like watching nature documentaries and posting different things on Instagram. And one other thing before I forget that I want to mention is I don't know exactly what it's called on Storygraph, but there's like kind of a reading event created for the Climathon, and where you can post like either things you've read or want to read for different challenges and things, which is really cool. I found a couple of really cool recommendations already through that, and over the next couple of weeks I'm gonna put down, like, figure out my 12 books I'm gonna read during 2024 for Climathon. But let's just go ahead and get started with some of the categories. So we got plants, reading books on plants. Got plenty of those over there. And before I forget, if you hear any of these prompts and you want me to do a kind of just a video recommendation on any of these prompts, well, actually there's a couple I might not be able to do a good job with. I'd let you know in the comments, obviously. But if there are some prompts that you'd like me to do, and actually, even if I don't know off the top of my head, I'll probably do some research just to, I'm figuring out my own TBR anyways, and kind of do a video specifically just, on plants, plant books that I've, really enjoyed. Let me know, and I will see if I can slap something together for you guys. Alright, so yeah, a book on plants, that's one pretty self-explanatory. Then we got a book on connection, and I think that's kind of along the lines of, humanity's connection to the planet, different communities, stewarding, their local area, things along those lines. Just in a lot of places that's just not there, but really a lot of indigenous communities, especially around the equator and stuff, they're actually doing a really good job being the stewards of these biodiversity hotspots and stuff, when you start reading about it. So anyways, things like that, I think. One on food, which I think is kind of an interesting take, but yeah, just industrial commercial farming, and I live in the middle of farm country. There's a literal potato field, I could probably throw a baseball to. Commercial farming just is so bad for for the soil and stuff, just the way it's done. Monocrop agriculture just generally isn't a great thing, but reading farm to table, different kind of farming practices, things like that, I think would be good for food. Next one is animals, or a book on animals or fungi, and that one's pretty self-explanatory, and I got about 3 shelves over there that probably would count for that. Next up is a book by an indigenous author, and I was kind of going on a little bit earlier about that. A lot of these indigenous communities are just doing really well compared to a lot of the rest of the world population and stuff. So reading kind of their perspectives on things, I think, would be very helpful. Next up, we got a book relating to the earth, and I think that's kind of geology, improving the soil, different things like that. I'm trying to think what else could be for the earth. I guess climate systems, rain and weather patterns, things like that. Then we got consumerism and capitalism, and I think that is a topic I definitely need to read a little bit more about. I am reading book 1 right now that I'm going to be doing for a review called Barons, which is all about a bunch of different food kind of conglomerates that are just really bad, really bad, basically. And it's kind of making me upset, and I knew it would, but you know, it's good to like read about and learn about. But if you have actually recommendations for that one, let me know down below. Next up, we got Revolution and Change, which like kind of I keep bringing that up, but like a lot of different indigenous communities and stuff. You know, even if they're not necessarily in a third world country, which in a lot of cases they are, you know, third world country or whatever, you know, they still have to fight for like, you know, civil rights, you know, basic like human rights and everything like that alongside, you know, the climate stuff going on. So it's always good to make sure you don't always lose fact that the, you know, there's people, there's people's lives being involved too, which obviously complicates and just, you know, it just adds another layer to a lot of these things. Next up is a book on a different continent, and I'm on North America, so pretty much anywhere else other than North America for me. So I think that one would be pretty good. A book on the oceans or the ice. I assume that's more like glaciers and, you know, the North Pole, Arctic caps and stuff in Antarctica. I actually got quite a few books on oceans. I was actually thinking of doing like an ocean video, I guess, book recommendation at some point. So that one definitely fits pretty good. A book by an activist author. I think there might be a couple I've done, but I'm not 100% sure. Like they've kind of hinted at it, like in the works, some of the works that I've read, though I have to like actually like do some research on the authors. If you have any good ideas for recommendations for that topic, let me know down below as well. And then the one topic, the last one here, the 12th one that I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do is read a book on Climathon. And apparently, from what I understand, it's kind of like sci-fi, but like dystopian, like where the planet gets like destroyed, like climate sci-fi, I guess, from, you know, Ecocide or something like that. Yeah, I just don't read a lot of fiction, unless there happens to be a Warhammer book that kind of like fits in there. I might have to include it, figure something out for that. I'm not 100% sure yet. But anyways, like I said, I just want to do a video just where I bring a lot of this stuff up, just because, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I read anyways. And let me know if you want to participate in Climathon in any way, shape, or form. Leave some comments on their videos as well, saying that you're joining in. Like I said, I just think this is a topic that needs more attention. Nonfiction in general, but like especially like, you know, nature and environmental conservation stuff, really is like a lot of my reading, even though I don't know if I probably don't highlight it quite enough in like some of my stuff. I don't know, maybe I do, but like I said, this is definitely a reading event that I'm going to be participating in fully. I'm hoping, like, you know, I just continue like reading and joining in all these communities and stuff. And like I said, just it fits super well, and I'm just diving in head first with it. So let me know down below, like I said, if you want any specific video recommendations on a few of those topics, or if you got really good recommendations for those as well. Thank you so much for continuing to watch and everything like that. You know, like if you think this is a great idea, give me a dislike if you thought this, I'm not really sure what you like, I guess, disapprove of in this video. Normally I've been saying like if you think my recommendations suck. But anyways, like I said, I'll leave my Etsy shop down below if you want to support the channel that way, or just like a few items, things like that. But whatever you end up reading, whether it's on nature or the environment or not, always remember, read victoriously.